Okay, yeah, so we are back. We're here with Peter.
Yeah.
And Henrik is drawing right now. And we have the honor to decide a prompt that Henrik can include in his drawing. So, what do you think? Looking at Tsuki in this outfit?
So, I'm doing a little bit of time traveling
Okay.
back to when I was a child, and I grew up with animes, like
yes.
most of us, and I would say let's do a Dragon Ball theme.
Okay. Henrik, are you comfortable with that?
That's the guy with the spiky hair.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. Yeah, it's all you need to know, maybe. Okay, yeah, let's go with Dragon Ball. And as usual, we have 15 minutes for this post if you guys want to draw along at home. Cool. Yeah, so Peter, we actually never have spoken that intensely before, so I'm really curious to do that right now. So all my questions are really heartfelt because I literally do not know a lot about you.
I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Next time.
I mean, yeah, next time I will know for sure. So yeah, maybe kind of just tell me like 1 or 2 sentences. What do you do? What do you love? What's your deal, basically?
Okay, good. Where should I start? I just do quickly a summarize of where I'm from, basically.
Yeah, sure.
So, when I was 4 years old, my parents actually want me to study fashion design.
Ooh, that's cool.
And none of them have basically actually anything to do with art.
Okay.
So my father was a police officer, and my mother has a cosmetic store.
Okay.
But in the 19s, they watched like a telenovela from America about fashion design, and then
they were like,
they saw like, oh Peter, you draw, and so you become a fashion designer. And I was 4 years old, and I was like, okay,
I'll do that.
I do that. But I was really into drawing Disney, things like that, and anime stuff.
Cool.
And then after I did my degree in high school, I went to Berlin, and then I had like interviews in school and universities. And every time I came out of those fashion design universities, I was staying with my boyfriend. I was like, no, thanks. This is not my thing. And then by accident, I popped into a university where a friend of us studied as well. And then I started studying communication design.
Okay.
And I had a little sneak peek into illustration, game design as well. And then I realized what I wanted to do. And I made my degree in 2012 already. From that point, I started to kind of educate myself a little bit to get more deeper into material. But it didn't really work out. I did some freelance stuff. I did a lot of social media stuff as well. And then I decided last year to go back to school and to get the rest of the skills to be ready for the, how do you say?
The industry?
Industry,
The
thank
art,
you.
yeah,
for
the art industry.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you currently studying then?
I'm studying game design at School for Games. So it's not game design, it's game graphics.
Game art, basically.
Game art, yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
So like, are you more into like the illustration part of it or the concept art? Because just for, awesome. For the viewers, so illustration is more like the finished pieces that you see literally like on the movie posters or on the game DVDs or like in-game maybe even. And the concept art is kind of the design process that you never really get to see, but that happens before the cool illustrations get done, basically. So it's literally the doing 20, 30, 500 versions of one thing all over and over and over until someone decides that something is really awesome and you go with that, basically.
And that's a good thing, it never gets boring. Because I like illustrations too, I do it for myself and for my Patreon, but you have more flexibility when it comes to concept art, and I'm one of those people who are constantly thinking when I'm talking to people, and I'm always carrying a sketchbook just to hold everything on.
Okay.
Which is really important. It was not a good thing in school, of course, because teachers told me, Peter,
Stop drawing.
pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sorry. And I just scribbled down everything. So now it, it's a really positive thing for me.
Now it's literally your job, and
It's my job,
you
yeah.
do it for fun and for jobs, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Did that change anything now that you're like pursuing it as a career? Are you still enjoying it as much as before, or like did the pressure of having to do it every day for work kind of take away from the fun experience of drawing?
No, it doesn't. I was really scared that this is going to happen, but I'm really in peace with it. I'm also flexible of what I'm able to do, and so the last 5 years I didn't work full-time as an artist because I kind of slipped into interior design, visual merchandising for a British company. So I was traveling and doing store designs as well, which was really nice. It was a super nice experience.
Sounds good.
But I realized, no, Peter, stay true to yourself and go back to your roots. Having the feeling during art every day 100% gives me a lot of peace. Even though I'm going to school, even though I do work now also for a company as well, part-time, where I can do practice already, and I do gain every day so much knowledge in school and at work, which is really crazy. So I'm really, really happy right now.
Yeah,
it's a good
like
feeling. Yeah.
You're like speed running through all the learning experiences right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So working in a real company right now, is it like what you imagined what it would be like, or is it super different and you're like, damn, I would have never guessed that this is what I would actually be doing?
It is how I expected it would be. But I didn't expect it before I started working there, because I was more insecure about myself, what my skills are, is it enough? So this is the problem when you're an artist. You're always doubting yourself. Are you good enough? Are you good enough? No, I'm not. And you compare yourself. But I feel really safe there, and also the project, because I feel like they kind of appear really well to me, to my style, and so on. And I can say that I can be myself, which maybe is not the normal case in the industry, because you have to do other styles as well. So, but now it feels really, comfortable.
Cool. Yeah, it's so cool that you're like, because it's like the main thing that I heard from a lot of concept artists, that it's a bit tough sometimes to kind of put your own style back and adjust to whatever the customer needs or the studio needs or the project wants from you, basically. But I mean, that's awesome that it's like super kind of fitting to what you actually are interested in and want to do.
And to be honest, I'm not really scared if I have to do other styles, because it's just a learning experience. Why not? And why should I just put myself in borders? And if I want to do my own style, I can do projects by myself beside as well every weekend, for example. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's
it
good.
sounds super perfect. It wasn't that perfect the last 5 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm really happy that it kind of just made it that way finally. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's just like the road is winding and you don't really know where it leads, and you're like, oh no, freaking out a little bit. Like, is this actually is this gonna be my life, basically? But then something happens and you kind of strive towards your goal, but you're like a little bit sidetracked. But in the end, if you like really want something, kind of tends to happen if you work for that as well.
That's true. Well, especially in a German society where we have like laws and orders and restrictions and things you have to have, like insurance and things like that. A job who offers you insurance and things like that, and then you have parents behind your back who is pointing on it like, do it. So it doesn't really make it easy. But God bless, we do have like this
like
thing in Germany.
Yeah, the structure and everything.
Yeah.
So would you say, are your parents kind of supporting you in the art track? I mean, they wanted to become a fashion designer, so I bet they were like open-minded towards the other artistic stuff. Yeah. But were they like worried when you decided to do the art thing and pursue that? Because like the stigma is basically like, you all know that artists don't earn money, or there's not a lot of money involved in industry. You just do it for like the children's laughter, basically. Yeah. But you do have to make a living out of it at some point if you want to pursue it professionally. So Were your parents like scared or?
No, never. They always supported me on art, even though they didn't had a clue about anything. But the big controversy is that on the other hand, they always came over with like those German things like you have to do, and which kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes, but on the other hand, they always want to support me. So it kind of it was collating sometimes.
Yeah,
but they still support. Everybody's supporting me, and
that's lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really awesome.
well, I have to work, of course, just to pay the bills and to show them the receipts what I'm doing.
Right.
And then they're super chill.
That's nice. Yeah, same. I think same for me. Like my parents were always like super supportive. As long as like all the official stuff is kind of taken care of, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's super nice. I feel like we're super lucky and privileged in that way, because I feel like a lot of artist journeys, especially like maybe like 1 or 2 generations before us, they really had to like struggle to kind of make clear to their surrounding that this is what they actually want to pursue and do. So
yeah, and it's also so my parents never knew what kind of options we have in the industry. That was a struggle. They never could tell me, Peter, you can do this, you can study this, or you can move there to study this. This is kind of there was always a kind of procedure of a self-education. You have to listen to hear what are the options, what can you do. So this was a kind of a pity compared to, for example, America, where like animation industry was always a big thing since Disney came out, for example, or Japan with Nintendo in the gaming industry. So it wasn't a big market in Germany. So of course,
there's a lot more explaining that you, as like the kid, need to do to the parents. Like, hey, this is actually a job. There are schools for that. There are like career paths that one can go down and like earn like a decent living or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I think we have 4 minutes left for this post, just for you to know, Henrik, and also for Tsuki and the people drawing along, of course.
No pressure.
No pressure, guys. I mean, oh yeah, if you want to actually post something that you drew along, you can totally do that on Instagram and tag us with Drink and Draw Berlin, and we will happily repost your stuff. Yeah, just wanting to let you know. Awesome. Yeah, I mean...
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Do I have something to offer?
No, I can... So... With Kika, I talked about what's your like inspiration that doesn't have to do with art. Do you have something like that? That's something like super random that inspires you, but that's not necessarily like another artist or something?
Well, I already told you that I grew up with Disney.
For
and
sure.
The Little Mermaid is kind of a thing. So I think it was the first Disney movie I've ever seen. Kind of, I was like blown away. I think it was 3 or 4 years old, and ever since I started drawing mermaids everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
And I kind of established the mermaid thing on Instagram years ago already.
Oh, wow.
But now I'm kind of over the mermaid thing. Because everybody's drawing mermaids.
Yep.
Even though in mermaid I'm like, again, mermaids.
Yep.
But I must confess that it helps me to find my style because of the dynamic lines. Also, a big thank you to my how do you say, life drawing teacher at university. She taught me like the most important thing, which had a big impact in my art style, like feeling like the line of action with the whole body.
Okay.
And this is still, I do still have this in my style, which I really appreciate.
Nice.
So yeah, like mermaid thing and the dynamic line, it is a good combination, of course, like flowing hair and tails.
Yep.
And I can always adapt this, and it gives a nice movement and dynamic to an illustration or a character.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever like look into kind of mythological stuff with like mermaids or something like that? Or, I mean, I think there are like a bunch of things.
Yes, as well. I do like gods as well.
Oh yeah.
Because, and especially when it comes to new interpretation gods, like, okay, how can they look like in the future or now today as a Berlin hipster?
Yeah.
This is really nice to see, and how would they react. You can play a lot with those characters. Sometimes you have the pressure to come up with a new character, but if you're lazy and comfy, hey, we have so many characters built up from history who you can use to give them new definition. That is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, like I think a lot of artists always say that nature is like the best creator because like everything is just, you know, it's how kind of our perception of beauty is formed because nature is doing it like just naturally, literally.
Exactly.
And so with that, if you have to build a new character, you can always just look at like, I don't know, history pictures or like references or the pictures from your grandma or whatever and kind of create, like pick something from there and create something new.
Yeah, just pick your sketchbook, go outside the door and start drawing what you see.
Damn.
Yeah, inspiration's waiting everywhere. It sounds cheesy, but this is how it is. Yeah, it's true, it's true.
It's cheesy, but it's true. And it's also good advice for newcomers to just
exactly.
Get into the habit of doing it and
it is.
Yeah, not overthinking maybe.
Yeah.
Thing.
Damn, now I have another story I want to tell, but we don't have any time anymore.
It's actually
next time.
like 30 seconds I think for this post. But yeah, I think that won't be the last time. I mean, you've been here at Drink and Draw sometimes, so...
Yeah, I live really close by, so I'm happy to come.
Oh, I'm jealous. I live really far away. That's fine, but yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with you again.
Me too. Awesome. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Peter, for coming here today.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for drawing.